Welcome to Discover Greater Lansing. Whether you're exploring the rich history of the state capital or indulging in incredible local food, there's always something exciting happening here. Discover living. Discover mobility. Discover downtown. Discover giving back. Greater Lansing offers breathtaking activities and outdoor adventures, ensuring a perfect balance of city life and natural beauty. Discover the warmth. Discover the charm. Discover Greater Lansing. The journey begins now.
Welcome back to another episode of Discover Greater Lansing. Today, we are literally going to talk to the people behind this great city, the infrastructure, residential and commercial. We built this city on rock and roll. I say we built this city on Pat and Paul. So with that, I will, Pat, thank you for being here today. Pat Gillespie and Paul Gentilozzi. Their names precede them, so I'm sure. But let's talk a little bit about what you've seen in the past. Pat, I remember your riverboat tours. I'm like, we forgot we had this great river here. Let's open it up and let's celebrate it and build around it. And Paul will get into some of the exciting things that you have in store. You know, if everything aligns right for our city, and just so much excitement going on to make our region even better than it is. So Pat, give us a snapshot of where we've been.
I'll give you a snapshot. About 17 years ago, we were looking downtown Lansing, and we're looking at all these other cities that had districts: Arena District, Warehouse District, Gaslight District. Lansing at that time really didn't have a district, so we kind of came up with, let's just create a district around the baseball stadium. People think it was highly scientific and we had to jump through all the hoops. That's what we did. And we just named it, and we named a building Stadium District and said, districts should have a little bit of everything. So we introduced rental apartments, condos for sale, retail, coffee shops, restaurants, offices. Fast forward 17 years later, there's hundreds of apartments. There's 5 to 7 new bar restaurants there. There's 60, 70,000 square foot of office. Other things coming, breweries. So all kinds of stuff has happened in that time period, and it's all been madly successful and full. We wish we had done more, but right now costs are a little elevated, so it's hard to get a lot more off the ground. We do see it coming in the next 24 to 36 months, being able to add more to the area, and we've got some pretty fun plans planned there for the next couple of years in the Stadium District.
Awesome. Well, we'll get into those plans. Paul. What have you seen? You've seen a lot in
Well, I started working downtown in 1965. I'm 75 now, and I started working at Knapp's Capitol Avenue as a sporting goods clerk, and worked through several jobs downtown, and started full-time in the real estate business in June of 1970, and with Walter Neller Company, which my dad was with, and our focus was commercial. Actually, the early 70s, we were in the multifamily business, and we developed about 600 units, and then I sold them to one investor and moved on to the office building business. In the late 70s, we started with a project called 1 Michigan Avenue. That was our first large project. And then we went through the market. We were partners in that, and we developed about 1.5 million square feet of office space, with the state of Michigan being the primary tenant. Those days are over.
Yes.
The state of Michigan has canceled, not renewed, virtually all of their office leases, leaving a significant void. Just about the time when we regressed as a company from new development, Pat came along, thankfully, and did a phenomenal job at reinvigorating the Central Business District, and especially up Michigan Avenue. Without him, that would be a dead zone today. So about 2 years ago, we decided that downtown had been forgotten, politically, socially, economically, and it was really hurting our community. The one-time 11,000 state workers that worked downtown were now dramatically cut, and the impact on the economy of the 3-block wide by 10-block long Central Business District was about $25 million a year. So someone always willing to throw the dice, we set out on doing these new projects that we're just embarking on.
All right. Wow. That's that's a look back in the rearview mirror quite a bit. And I've been here a while, and I've seen this city transform. And Pat, and the color you injected, I remember you saying, who wants a brown city?
Yeah.
Nobody wants a brown city. So you have, and of course, anything different is going to spark conversation, but at least we're talking about it, and it's excitement. And I love bringing a Meijer grocery store into right downtown, so we're not a food desert.
Yeah.
And it brings people, and you bring residents here, so there is life after hours. And we don't like to talk about the big COVID C word, but it was devastating in some respects, but also forced us to look at things in a little bit different way. The state workers, hey, they're not as here, but small business owners are still here. We want to be here. We want to have a vibrant city. So now let's look at that front windshield, and see what's down the road for our great region. And we'll kick it off with either one of you if you want to share some of your vision.
Well, first of all, it's important for us to say that we couldn't have created anything that we're about to create without Pat setting the precedent. His company did a great job at getting people to migrate back to the Central Business District. Our plan is bold, and many people have said, why are you trying to do so much? Why don't you just do a little and see how it works? We've always said, go big or go home. And in motorsports, you have to win the race. Yeah. If you don't, then why are you participating? So in this circumstance, we're doing $320 million of new development, 750,000 square feet, with a 28-story high-rise building, with all of the amenities that you'd find in Chicago or New York or Boston. We've looked at projects all over the country, and we needed to build something special. And we could not have done that without the support of the Michigan legislature and without the Michigan Strategic Fund and the city of Lansing. Yeah. They helped us build the economic base around platforms. In the last 8 years, the city of Lansing has only gotten 8% of all the real estate development dollars, all the community development dollars that the state has given out. The city of Detroit's gotten 50%. Yeah. Grand Rapids, 20%. Flint got more than we did. Not that they didn't deserve it, but somebody had to step up and say, we deserve it. Yeah. And essentially, we guilted state government because Lansing was formed to house the state government. Some of that's gone now, and we need to rebirth it by housing people downtown.
Absolutely. I love it. Go big. Go big. Go Pat, big. I don't know what more. I just had lunch with the whole team at Bobcat Bonnie's. I mean, you've got food. You brought Starbucks. I mean, you are, a deity to some people.
To bring Starbucks, to bring Meijer, to bring Marriott.
Yes.
Some of those names that a lot of people thought would never be downtown Lansing. That drives more. So it's more of an accepted term for some of the franchises to look to be down there. Some people would say Paul and I compete. Boy, aren't you upset that he's doing all this stuff? I'm his biggest fan, his biggest cheerleader.
Both ways.
If he can go do those 300 to 400 units he's talking about, it's a game changer. It drives more restaurants, more bars, more entertainment, and we are seeing more entertainment looking to be downtown. A couple of our projects we're working on are things I never thought we'd see downtown Lansing that would draw students, that would draw nature environmentalists and stuff that would want to be a part of some of these entertainment venues we're looking at. So whole new world of things that we're looking at compared to just, some apartments or a bar restaurant.
Right.
That's what I'm excited about, is we've turned the leaf and it's more accepted to do bigger, bolder things.
Right.
With the thinking that's going on now.
And how exciting. I mean, I'm just a little small business owner, and I own a building downtown, but to see all this growth and excitement, especially post-pandemic, it is really so exciting for me. And I can't wait for the next thing. And to hear, here we are, the capital city. We are the heart of this state. Love Detroit, love Grand Rapids, love Northern Michigan and UP. But this is where, the beating has to happen. And to bring some of those dollars to be more equitable, Paul, as you said, that makes sense to me. But it does take people like you too, who are bold, who think beyond what the cautiousness, and let's take baby steps. You want more for our great region. And what drives you? What gets you? Do you sleep at night?
I don't sleep a lot, but
Yes.
I don't mind it because I love what I do. It's not work. I'm born and raised in Lansing, so
Yeah.
we develop all over the state. But the ones that we get real excited about are the ones in our backyard.
Absolutely.
So just making our community better and making a few bucks is also important, but
Right.
making it better so that we can have conversations like this every 3 years and go, wow, that was fun. What else is coming?
When we look at historically, and I use the example of Dan Gilbert
Yeah.
and his company in Detroit. Now, Woodward Avenue in downtown Detroit was a desolate, empty zone. Dan stepped up with a very bold idea that most people said would fail. $2 billion later, no one else could have done this but Dan. He has a successful, thriving community in a place that people had forgotten about. If we look at Grand Rapids, a city we try to emulate all of the time, it has the DeVos and the Van Andel families, other families who have taken bold steps to do significant projects. When they built the Amway Grand Hotel, everybody said it won't succeed. The people who do these developments, people like Pat and I, believe in what we're doing, and failure isn't the option.
No.
So we believe so much that we've taken a big risk, and I like risk. So I think the reward will be great for all of us.
Right. And your families, you want our region to be better than it ever has been. And while not a native, I've been in this great city longer than my home state, and I've just seen the bold steps that people do. And I think of there's a video where there's a solo man dancing to his own beat. And people think he's something's not quite right. And then, one
say that about us.
That was you dancing out there. But then somebody shares that vision, comes alongside. And then before you know it, you've got a movement. And a common theme on this show is the power of partnerships. And here, two people who may not know you, who haven't watched the show, may think that you're competitors, but you can see the synergy. You bring in work, you bring in living spaces, you bring in culture and food and entertainment. You need each other, and together, together we are better and stronger. And I love the vision we share. And when people get to see this, they'll get a little glimpse in it, but they're going to see glimpses of this starting to surface soon. These aren't way off projects, are they?
Well, we're under construction in January. We have 5 projects, about 580 units in total, and parking structures, about 600 cars of parking, retail, office, all of that in a mixed-use fashion. So we'll be digging holes, and under construction, we'll be doing demolition on the sites as soon as we get through, assuming we get through the Michigan Strategic Fund final approval, City Council's approval, which is next up for us, and the local Brownfield Authority. So
we got a plan and we're moving forward. Pat?
Same here, 2025, there should be 2 to 3 projects in motion, opening in 26.
Excellent.
So the next 24 months should be pretty good.
Well, we're definitely going to have you back to talk more about that. So let's talk about what you love about, this show is all about what you love about Greater Lansing. What are some of your favorite things? People, maybe someone just moved here. Hey, was there anything to do here in Lansing?
I'm never at a loss. Now, in my other life, in motorsports, I've traveled around the world racing cars. And people always ask, why do you live in Lansing? And when you make a community your home, you get absorbed into its culture. And I look at all of the fabulous things we have. First of all, we have state government, which is deeply roots, traditionally, the economic base.
Yeah.
We still have General Motors manufacturing. We have Michigan State. We have a great local community who is just learning how to be vital, how to go to baseball games, how to go to concerts. As we push the governmental authorities to providing these extra services, it makes our city more invigorating and more attractive to new young people.
Absolutely, absolutely. Pat?
Very, very similar, but we have some new friends that have been to town the last 6 months. Michigan State University, the walking trails, the paths around town, some of the parks, and then just the people is my favorite. Just, you got wholesome people that want to see people succeed, and they do care about newcomers that come in. So it's a very welcoming community. And I'm born and raised here, never going to leave. So it's just, I'm hoping that we keep getting more folks like that here, because that's a hard thing to emulate.
Yes, and keeping our talent here. Pat, I know, I see your son coming in and with your properties. I have my daughter working, for me, to keep that talent here when it's so easy for them to go to Chicago, to go eat anywhere else. And that is what makes a community, have legacy and have years to come and a future to look forward to, and keeping them here. And we got great health care, we've got the university, we've got community college in Davenport, and there's so much here to uncover. But I'm surprised sometimes. I'm talking with someone who's a native. I've never been to the Capitol. Oh, I didn't, hear that. And so we are our own ambassadors. I just came back from Mexico not too long ago. I couldn't wait. I love traveling, but coming back, that home feeling, even though I'm not a native, I am a native. My daughter and granddaughter are natives now. There's something about Lansing. And I think you hit it, Pat, that the people are just so they just embrace you, and you feel it. And so, the buildings are wonderful. We're giving people a place to live and do things and call home. But it's the people and the people like you, our leadership, the people who are bold and who stand up to sometimes controversy, even to say, maybe you're not seeing my vision. Maybe you're not. Let me share that with you. And I know you're going to kick off some boat tours soon.
Next spring, we're going to do it again.
Okay, so those are fabulous if you get the opportunity from Pat's boat tours to look at our city from the river perspective out. It's just wonderful. So, Pat and Paul, you are two of those that have built this city on rock and roll and on infrastructure and on concrete and lots of hard work. So from the bottom of my heart, we appreciate you. We can't wait for your next adventures. We're with you and supporting you, and appreciate all you do for our community.
Thank you. There's a lot more coming. That's the good news.
Yeah,
all right.
Both ways.
Awesome. Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Hi, I have Jen Worthington here with me today from a company called Clear Title. Title insurance is such a big part of a real estate transaction, whether we're talking about commercial or your personal residence or really anything that you buy basically that has a parcel number. And right now we're having a lot of fraud scenarios that are crossing the desks of local realtors on behalf of their sellers and their buyers. So Jennifer, I wanted to talk with you today. First of all, thanks so much for being with me.
You're welcome. Pleasure.
I wanted to talk to you today and have you give me the quick skinny on why title insurance is so important.
Well, the most important thing about title insurance when you're buying a property is that you make sure that you're the only person that can claim that you own the property, and that's what your title insurance policy does. We go back through the whole history of the property and make sure that coming up to today, you're the only person that can claim ownership to that property.
Interesting. And with fraud in this industry, what does that look like? I mean, how can you do something dishonest with a title insurance policy?
A lot of the fraud that we're seeing right now comes from outside parties, and it's really getting into that actual transfer of funds. So either money coming into the title company or money going out of the title company. And what we've done at Clear Title is secure those portals so that you can be sure that your transaction, whether you're sending money to us or getting money from us, that money is going to come to you and not to someone who's trying to steal it from you.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel a lot better, and it really makes people appreciate the protection of that. So thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time.
No problem.
The Lansing Regional Chamber is pleased to be part of Discover Greater Lansing, where we will celebrate and showcase the economic growth and assets that define our region. We are experiencing an extraordinary transformation with over $4 billion in new investment and thousands of new jobs. Placemaking, including the integration of arts, entertainment, and culture, plays a pivotal role in shaping our vibrant communities. Infrastructure is the backbone of economic growth, and we're seeing historic levels of investment exceeding $800 million, including the planned reconstruction of Michigan Avenue, connecting Michigan State University to our state capitol. As you embark on your journey to discover Greater Lansing, we encourage you to immerse yourselves in the unique experiences our region has to offer, support the small businesses that form the heartbeat of Lansing, and joining us in fostering an environment where innovation, collaboration, and prosperity flourish. Together, let's build a stronger Lansing.
I have Lance Rowe with Eaton Financial Services with me here today, and we're going to talk about financial planning. So, Lance, tell me, where and when should someone start with financial planning in their life?
Well, anytime you have a life-changing event, such as retirement, birth of a baby, marriage, is always a good time to seek financial advice.
Okay, great. And what are some of the mistakes, or maybe even the biggest mistake you see people make that you would want to caution them against?
I would say probably not planning for assisted living. In America, a married couple is going to have a 70% chance of one of those two people needing some form of assisted living in their lifetime. And women generally need longer. They need about 3.7 years, men about 2.2 years of assisted living. And it can be quite expensive. It's roughly $4,500 a month is the average in the United States, and that's $54,000 a year. So it can be quite a hefty price tag.
Right, right. Well, let's go back to our first question for just a second. A 30-year-old couple, is it too early for them to start thinking about assisted living?
No, it's never too early. In fact, that's probably a great time because you have a lot of life ahead of you. And the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be.
Okay, great. So I guess my final question would be, as a person or a couple, they're planning, should they come in and see you before they really know what they're planning for? What would you suggest in that scenario?
Absolutely. It's a great time to start formulating ideas and starting to lay the groundwork for what you're going to do ahead.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being with me. I really appreciate it. Sounds like you've got the statistics to help a person feel comfortable with what they're doing, and I really hope they stop in to Eaton to see you.
Thanks, Karen.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I have been on the board of the Allen Neighborhood Center in the past, and I'm a huge fan. But for those folks who don't know what you do, can you talk a little bit about your programming, specifically the Neighbors in Need program that the Lansing Rotary Foundation helped fund?
Sure. So Allen Neighborhood Center has been serving Lansing's East Side for 25 years, since 1999. We focus our programming on health, housing, and access to healthy food. So the Neighbors in Need program is a direct service for our neighborhood, giving people access to food and healthcare.
Can you give me an example of somebody who would have access to the program or might need it?
Sure. So every Monday, our breadbasket food pantry is open. We distribute about 2,000 pounds of fresh vegetables to our most vulnerable neighbors. That's a program that anybody can come to. You don't have to be from our neighborhood. It's open to anyone who wants to attend.
And what kind of other programs are you able to offer at ANC?
Sure. So the Neighbors in Need program supports our outreach center. The outreach center is a place where neighbors can come 9 to 5, no appointment needed, and we can help people sign up for health care or food benefits or emergency assistance, and we can also refer them to other agencies. So it's kind of bring your problems to us and we'll help you solve them.
And how does ANC partner with CATA to be able to help residents?
Well, CATA partnered with ANC to bring a bus shelter to our block on East Kalamazoo Street. They also make bus passes available for our most vulnerable neighbors to help them get to health appointments or wherever they need to get to.
Great. Well, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
CATA's regional mobility solutions make a difference for our community. Hear what our writers and community leaders have to say about the value CATA delivers to the capital city area.
Downtown Lansing, Inc. is the downtown management agency. We are a grassroots, volunteer-led organization who's focused on really promoting the culture and sustainability of our downtown central business district while lifting up our local businesses and our residents. shaping the future of an entire community alongside so many critical partners, it's rewarding. Creating spaces where businesses can really grow and become part of the long-term success and sustainability of not just downtown, but our entire city as well. CATA is one of those huge partners that do so much and bring so much to our community, from providing affordable and equitable transportation options for anyone who, whether they're coming in for work, they're coming to visit, they're being part of community events. They give funding assistance. They show up and provide the expertise too in how we're going to rework certain bus routes for a school group, for instance. It's about the connections and it's about the people and places that make up our community, and CATA really understands that and does it very efficiently with the human element that is so important, and clearly articulates and spells out the different routes and mobility options that they offer.
In general, I think having public transportation options is better, not only for people who don't have access to their own transportation, but it's also just a more environmentally friendly way to get a lot of people around a lot of places.
We've used CATA on and off ever since we moved out here to Michigan 11 years ago, mainly in between having cars, and it's just really helped us get from like point A to point B, whether it's work, appointments, shopping, pretty much wherever we need to go.
Downtown Lansing Inc. recently launched a new article series called Dear Downtown. We have Sarah here to tell us more about the series and what the community can expect. Sarah, can you tell us a little bit more about Dear Downtown?
Sure. Dear Downtown is a letter writing campaign, a segment from Downtown Lansing Inc., where different writers, different guest writers share their unique perspectives on what it is about downtown Lansing that they love.
Awesome. Can you talk about the letter that you wrote for Dear Downtown?
Sure. So we launched Dear Downtown in September, and I wrote the October letter from a perspective of a music lover. So not everyone knows, but downtown Lansing does have a live music venue, Graywall Hall, at 224 South Washington Square. They're celebrating their 1-year anniversary in October, and virtually every night of the year they bring a different nationally touring artist, comedian, and host events.
And as a volunteer with Downtown Lansing Inc., what made you excited about getting involved with Dear Downtown?
Sure, I was excited because I've lived in Lansing my whole life, in downtown Lansing specifically, about 10 years, and I know it can be easy to get excited about traveling to other cities, and I think it's really important to share that excitement and curiosity and pride for the place that you live. So for me, it's downtown.
Is there any other ways that people can get involved with Downtown Lansing Inc. if they were interested in volunteering?
Yeah, people can go to the website downtownlansing.org, sign up for our newsletter, and follow us on social media.
Wow, what another great show and another reason to discover Greater Lansing. So many wonderful things happening in our great, great community. From living, working, and playing, we've got it right here in Greater Lansing. Thanks for joining us.